Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. We are going to be discussing more severe weather ahead and even a possible tornado outbreak tomorrow across the northern Midwest. In the meantime, though, we're going to be looking at today's severe weather here. We have 3 slight risks in effect, and this is for portions of the southeast, for portions of the central U.S., and even up there in the very northern portion of the Midwest there, we have another slight risk in effect. We also have marginal risks in effect. That's also for isolated severe storms here. There's not anything significant expected for today, just to put that out there, but mainly severe storms will be expected in those yellow shaded areas. We do have a tornado risk in all 3 areas, a small 2% risk of tornadoes. Not anything serious, but just something to keep out watch for. We do have a wind risk of 15% chance here for 60-mile-per-hour winds within most of those storms throughout today. And also we have a hail chance up there up north, but not much of a hail chance down south. We do have a chance for upwards of quarter-sized hail within those storms, possibly larger up there in Iowa and Nebraska within some of those supercells that may produce some pretty big updrafts that may lead to some bigger hail. Tomorrow's outlook, we do have another chance for severe weather and a much bigger chance for severe weather across the northern Midwest. This is for portions of Wisconsin, Michigan, even into Iowa and Minnesota. This is a level 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale and is definitely one of those risks where it starts to get significant. We do have a big chance of tornadoes tomorrow, and just don't forget the slight risk down here south. A big tornado chance with this, a 10% hatched risk, which means you could see upwards of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes possible in that yellow shaded area. Also, tornadoes will be likely in that 5% chance. Again, that 2% is quite the low chance. Wouldn't worry about that much, but mainly that 5% and especially the 10% chance. You could see possibly a regional tornado outbreak here in Wisconsin, in portions, possibly those states around them as well. So please stay very weather aware. Tomorrow I will be live. I'm not sure what time yet, but I definitely will be tracking this closely tomorrow, and definitely will go live if possible. We also do have a wind risk with this. Pretty much all hazards are possible with this system here. As you can see, we have a 30% chance for possibly upwards of 75-mile-per-hour winds. Last night we saw even wind gusts upwards of 90 miles per hour. We're still gonna see some very damaging winds, not as intense as yesterday's, but definitely still some very intense winds, damaging winds within those storms in Wisconsin, even upwards of 80-mile-per-hour gusts. Also hail. Look at that hail risk. We have a 30% hatched risk. We could see over baseball-sized hail here possible in Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa there, even going into Michigan. So again, very damaging storms expected tomorrow on Wednesday. Let's look at the future radar throughout today here. This is going to be at about 12 p.m. here, so let's go ahead and move forward when this is actually being recorded at about 2 p.m. So we do have some cells popping up there in South Dakota and Minnesota, and then we head to about 4 p.m. or so. 5 p.m. not much still, and then we get to around 7 p.m. Central. This is when you start to see those storms really popping up in Iowa and Nebraska. Those really start to produce some possible large hail over there around the border of Kansas and Nebraska around the 9 p.m. time frame. You got through 11 p.m. here, and these storms are definitely looking very intense in eastern Nebraska. Not so intense in Iowa just yet here, but once you reach into around 12 a.m. or so, strong storms once again moving into Iowa, and more storms developing behind in Nebraska. That's when those approach the Minneapolis area, and you could definitely still see some very intense storms for tomorrow morning on Wednesday. Those head into Wisconsin with some damaging winds and stuff like that, and that's when you do get the main event here for Wednesday, where you do get those cells here in the early afternoon hours around 1 p.m. Those look to be producing some very large hail, and look at this. You can even see a hail spike on one of these cells in Wisconsin on the HRR model. This is The first time I've ever seen this, where the HRRR model, you usually see this on Doppler radar, where you see a hail spike. The hail is so large, but you can actually see a hail spike on the models, which is absolutely crazy. I can't tell if this is really a glitch with the radar, or with the model run, or not, because that is definitely looking like a hail spike right there, right off the hail core there. So that's gonna be about 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And as we head through 4 p.m., these are looking like some very intense cells. 4 p.m. or so, these will be approaching the Green Bay area. Then you head into around 5 p.m. They hit the Green Bay area with some very strong winds and heavy rainfall, hail, and stuff like that. Main tornado risk, I think, is going to be early afternoon throughout those first cells that start to fire up. Head throughout the central portion of Wisconsin, and then they kind of form into a cluster that may weaken that tornado threat. That's when you do get a line of storms down here as well that may produce a damaging wind threat, heavy rain, and stuff like that. But again, those main storms are going to be up here with possible significant tornadoes. Again, it can be possible, and we definitely don't want that. So make sure you do stay prepared tomorrow if you do live in central Wisconsin. That may also head through portions of Michigan throughout those late evening hours. Now, significant tornado parameters aren't going to be that widespread. I do see a little bit of a blob here throughout some of those cells that could hit this little blob here of around up to 5 on the parameters. So that means that there is definitely significant tornadoes possible, but they're not going to be anything widespread. If there's going to be a significant tornado, it's probably going to be one of them. It's mostly going to be general tornadoes under EF2 scale, but EF2 to EF5, the Storm Prediction Center has noted that they are going to be possible tomorrow within some of those storms, especially within one of those hot spots, pretty much smack in the middle of Wisconsin for tomorrow afternoon. So definitely watch out for that. And then as you head throughout, when these storms become kind of a cluster, there may be some spots here for these storms to still hit up and then may produce another tornado threat. And look at these storms down here. They might also have a decent tornado threat as they do turn into a lot of storms, possibly some embedded tornadoes within that. That's why we do have a 5% chance of tornadoes reaching down here into Missouri. However, I think this may also reach further south into Kansas, as those significant tornado parameters are reaching that far south here. So we're going to have to watch for updates from the Storm Prediction Center. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at the National Hurricane Center, where we do have, in fact, a 40% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. Disturbance 1 down there off the coast of the Central America here. This looks to be kind of circulating around another disturbance on the other side of Central America. And we did get tropical storm blast down here off the coast of Mexico. That is not looking like it's going to be impacting anything, but may turn into hurricane blast as it goes through 7 a.m. Thursday. That's where we could see again, and then it weakens into a tropical storm as it heads more north into those cooler waters. Again, tropical storm blast. So second storm of the Pacific hurricane season. You may also see another storm, the third storm of the hurricane season. And this could even head into the Gulf and then possibly bring impacts to the U.S. So we're going to, again, have to watch that very closely. If you did enjoy the video, though, this is quite the storm. This is going to be quite the severe weather outbreak tomorrow. So make sure to turn those post notifications on. Subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. I will possibly have a live stream, if possible, again tomorrow afternoon. And also make sure to share this video with any friends or family that may live here in the severe weather risk area. Again, it's going to be tomorrow in that enhanced region. So there's those cities. Share to anyone that lives in Green Bay, La Crosse, Wisconsin, Minneapolis will be very close to that risk there. Milwaukee will be included in that slight. Also Marquette, Michigan will be included in that. So anyone that you know that lives in that orange shaded area, the enhanced risk, share this video to them, or anyone. You can share this with anyone that may enjoy these types of extreme weather forecasts and stuff like that. As always, I'll see you in the next one, and stay safe.